Hello, you're watching News Mongolia on MNB World. I'm your host, Susanna Oktay. For our top stories, Mongolia and Japan to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations. The national park is planning to recycle 75% of its waste and save 20 to 30 million MNT from their budget. Livestock tax will be used to protect pastureland. For other news, stay tuned. The President of Mongolia, Khrushchev, received and met with the Ambassador of Japan to Mongolia, His Excellency Mr. Hiroyuki Kobayashi. At the start of the meeting, President Khrushchev congratulated Mr. Kobayashi on his country's success in organizing the Olympics amid the global pandemic and expressed his gratitude for assisting the Mongolian team during the Games, which was met with the ambassador's congratulatory remarks on the 4 medals won by the Mongolian athletes.
The Japanese ambassador also expressed his appreciation for the fact that Mongolian Prime Minister Oyungerten had visited Japan and met with the Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga. Next year marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries. The Japanese Prime Minister announced that 2022 will be the year of unity and exchange of Mongolian and Japanese children and youth. President Khrushchev received the initiative very well and conveyed Mongolia's readiness to co-organize a number of events and activities dedicated to the youth, who will continue to benefit from the friendly relations between the two countries as part of next year's celebration. The president then expressed Mongolia's willingness to further develop the two countries' strategic partnership, people-to-people relations, and cooperation in the trade and economic sector. The Japanese side said that they hope to receive more high-profile officials from Mongolia and strengthen the friendship and cooperation of the countries in the future. The sides also agreed on the importance of carrying out bilateral projects like Chinggishang International Airport and the Japanese and Mongolian Training Hospital in the future. The medium-term program on strengthening the Mongolian and Japanese strategic partnership in 2017 to 2021 is now ending, and another medium-term program for 2022 to 2025 is being developed. The president highlighted the importance of the strategic program on enhancing further cooperation between the two countries. Also, the ambassador noted that he would actively work on supporting the partnership between the two countries in various sectors.
Now let's take a look at the latest updates on COVID-19 status in Mongolia, according to the Ministry of Health and the National Center for Communicable Diseases.
In the past 24 hours, 2,289 new cases were confirmed and 1,521 people have recovered. Unfortunately, 4 more patients died of COVID-19 complications. All of the new cases are domestic cases. 632 were confirmed in Ulaanbaatar city and 1,657 in the rural provinces. At hospitals nationwide, 12,472 COVID-19 patients are being treated, which includes 403 pregnant women and 1,811 children with COVID-19. Out of them, 7,447 show mild symptoms of illness and 197 are in critical condition. Additionally, 13,332 patients are being treated at home under supervision from local hospitals. Infections are on the increase in the provinces, and if no action is taken, the number of reported cases per day in the capital over the next 14 days is likely to rise. The 3rd dose of AstraZeneca vaccine provides good protection against the Delta variant. People aged between 20 to 35 are the most active, but the least active are those who are vaccinated. Parents with young children are also in this age group. 73% of all infections are family-related. Please don't give the impression that you are about to get sick when school starts. Parents should be careful not to infect their children and then send them to school.
The national park in Ulaanbaatar has placed 4 colored bins in 100 places to enable sorting waste. As a result, people walking in the park will be able to put their waste in the right bin.
Park cleaners say that the national park concentrates a lot of plastic waste. It's the waste that takes decades to decompose in nature, such as all kinds of beverage containers, cans, plastic bags, and disposable food containers. In other words, 60% of the waste from the site is plastic, 25% is other waste, and 15% is glass cans. These are all recyclable materials. In the park, people are getting accustomed to sorting their own garbage.
санал авч тэднэрийн
As for the national park, we have been collecting feedback from our engineers supporting their initiatives and have started sorting garbage from this year. It is noticeable that people are very conscious and aware of sorting their waste. It is very important for us to provide good information to visitors and to encourage citizens and service providers.
The national park installed a total of 400 trash cans in 4 different colors, each with a capacity of 120 liters. It serves an average of 12,000 to 15,000 people a day, and they generate a lot of waste.
Sorting waste is economically important. It is also important for young people. Especially if you start such an initiative now, children in the future will have learned about it and get accustomed to it.
I like the fact that the bins are colorful and easy to see and have good signage on them. This seems to be easy to sort out.
If people learn to sort their own waste, the city will become cleaner. There's a lot of garbage in this area at night. Cleaners do a good job. However, people need to understand that if they don't generate trash, the environment will be much cleaner.
There is a lot of garbage every day, so I think it's a good idea to sort this waste. Sorting a garbage is very important because we will create a cleaner environment. And if we sort this waste and turn it into another product as a raw materials, it will be a small contribution to our livelihood and our country.
Currently, the annual amount of waste in Ulaanbaatar is about 1.1 million tons. This is an increase of 83% compared to 2012. As human consumption increases, so does the waste. Therefore, if citizens learn to sort their waste, this amount of waste will not harm the environment, but will become a source of economic benefits.
And here's the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. The livestock tax, which went into effect last month, is beginning to pay off. Herders in Ops province are actively paying their taxes and taking effective initiatives to improve pasture management.
This sum of Ops province has over 270,000 livestock. As of today, the carrying capacity of the pasture is about 3 times over the limit. Prior to the 1990s, the Sum, which borders Russia to the north and has supplied fodder to 5 western provinces, has seen a decline in pasture plant species and intensive forest degradation. Herders had to go to Narambolok Sum or Zungobi to find good pasture. But now, with the introduction of taxes, herders are able to rehabilitate their degraded pastures and become more responsible. The Sum Citizens Representative Horal discussed and imposed a tax of 300 to 1,000 Mongolian tugreks per 1 head of livestock. Since the introduction of the livestock tax on January 1st, Ops province has collected 122 million Mongolian tugreks in tax revenue. Sum is expected to raise 50 million Mongolian tugreks this year. About 10 million has already been raised. This money will be spent on livestock, wells will be built to rehabilitate pasture and to keep livestock healthy.
This year, our first focus will be on animal health based on feedback from herders. There are 10 bags in our Sum. There are plans to build 5 cleaning facilities between the 2 bags.
In the future, herders also need to pay attention to the quality of their livestock.
We aim to implement livestock management in our Sum in the future. We are studying how to get the most out of our livestock.
As a result of the introduction of the first livestock tax law, real pasture protection initiatives have begun to take place in rural areas and Sums.
Athletes who won medals at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics were presented with the Olympic medal badges and awarded with the highest award of the Mongolian National Olympic Committee on Thursday at the Olympic House.
Olympic bronze medalist Uramtsik Tsoktwatar Bolortoya and acting president of the Mongolian National Olympic Committee Narambatar, first vice president and IOC member Batushik, Secretary General of the Beijing 2008 Olympic Games, were present at the ceremony. Olympic champion Batrogeng and members of the Executive Council participated in person, while members of the Mongolian National Olympic Committee participated online. Olympic silver medalist Said Molay is currently in Germany, and Orhun Batır, Secretary General of the Mongolian Judo Federation, received his badge on his behalf. The tradition of awarding Olympic medalists and participants with badges dates back to the late 1980s. Juan Antonio Samaranch, the then head of the IOC, initiated the commemoration of the badge in order to honor living Olympic medalists and Olympic participants. The emblem of the time covered all the medalists and participants of the Summer Olympics from Stockholm 1912 to Seoul 1988 and the Winter Olympics from Chamonix 1924 to Calgary 1988. The Mongolian Olympic Participants Association is planning to hold a ceremony to hand over the Olympic badges to 43 athletes who represented the country at the Olympic Games given the pandemic situation. Since then, after each Olympics, medalists and participants have received a badge through their country's National Olympic Committee. The badge is produced by Bertoni, a company based in Milan, Italy. In addition to the Olympic badge, the company has a wealth of experience in the production of gold medals for the FIFA World Cup, the UEFA Cup as it was then known as, and the UEFA Super Cup.
And here's the weather forecast for the world's major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you on Monday with more stories and updates. Please follow MNB World on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a nice weekend. Goodbye.